Yo, what up, it's your boy JDMC and we're back with another video. What I want to do today is just talk about the James Harden trade and who I think the biggest winners and losers are from the trade. I know I'm a bit late to the party. This thing sort of happened a few days ago and a lot of people have talked about it, but I just wanted everything to settle down, wrap my head around it properly, and then analyze it from there. But yeah, let's jump straight into it. Before we get into it, make sure to hit the sub button. We're on the road to 1k, and also, can we get 6 likes this video? I think we can get 6 likes. But yeah, let's get into it.
Grabbing the boards like, I'ma go coast to coast. I'm on beats like dosey dough. They don't wanna go toe to toe. Step into my court, you get put in the poster. We ain't talk to nobody if you ain't with the smoke. Run up on me, watch your ankles get broke.
So I just want to start off by breaking down what each team got. So the Rockets get Oladipo, Exum, Kuras, however you say his name. They get 3 of Brooklyn's first round picks, 1 of Milwaukee's first round picks, and 4 Brooklyn first round swaps. So the Rockets balled out when it comes to the picks. With Oladipo, I'm not sure, leave a comment down below if you guys know more, but I'm not sure if he's staying there or if the Rockets have intentions to trade him, because I've heard some stuff about like the Heat getting involved. So if you're a Heat fan, would you trade like Tyler Hero, maybe like Kendrick Nunn or something for Oladipo, or would you want to keep that young core? So that's interesting to see if the Rockets actually use Oladipo as like a trading piece, or if they just run with him. Because if they run with him and Wood, that's some young potential, and then you've still got like Boogie and John Wall and all of those solid role players like PJ Tucker and stuff. So that could be nice. Moving on to the Pacers, they get Karis LeVert in a second round. News just came out about Karis LeVert, something to do with his kidney or something. He had to get something removed, so he's out indefinitely, but he's still so young. So for the future of the Pacers, they've pretty much just swapped him for Oladipo. So what do you guys think about that? I think Karis LeVert's a step up. I think he showed like more offensive versatility as like as a scorer from all levels. Oladipo's real nice, but he keeps getting traded around, so there must be... Yeah, what's wrong with Oladipo? I always thought that he was solid as, and like I thought the Pacers was his place to like prove himself, but now they've moved on from him. So yeah, that's interesting to keep an eye on. The Cavs, they get Jarrett Allen and Prince. Obviously getting Jarrett Allen, now they have all the trees with JaVale McGee and all of that, so they're gonna have to maybe move on from one of them or kick one of them out of the rotation. But yeah, the Cavs pretty much didn't give up much. I think they just gave up like Dante Exum pretty much for like literally Jarrett Allen, so they've just got like a young piece, a core piece they could trade or they could use to build their team with Sexton and all of that. So I think the Cavs pretty much just got a bit of a steal in this. It's like they just swooped in the trade and were just like, oh sweet, we'll grab him. And the Nets obviously get James Harden. This is ridiculous. They have Kyrie, KD, James Harden. Do we know if Kyrie's going to play? There's been like reports that he's not looking at returning this season and that he has problems with Steve Nash and all of this, but let's just say Kyrie is going to come back. Those 3 could be dangerous. I think a lot of people talk about, oh, but they're all ball handlers. That's not going to matter too much. Like, Harden can give you 10 assists a night when needed. He is a scorer, but he can pass, and we've seen KD sacrifice and share and contribute with people in the Golden State. Obviously, Golden State with Steph and Clay were more like catch and shoot shooters, where Harden and Kyrie are more dribblers. Like Chuck said, he went from the Splash Bros to the Dribble Bros, but no, I definitely think that this team's going to be real solid. Could they win it this year? I'm not too sure. I think a lot of things would have to click, but they definitely have the talent to, so I wouldn't be surprised if they made a run for it, but we'll just have to see how that unfolds. But yeah, do you guys think that they have obviously with the star power they have with James Harden, KD, and Kyrie, I think that is enough. They're definitely not as deep, but they still do have like Jeff Green, Joe Harris, who will start. They've got that, I forgot his name, the young dude, I'll put him up on screen. They have him, I forgot his name, sorry. And they've also got like Landry Shamet off the bench. They just don't have that backup big man, unless they play that like, what's his name, Clay or Claxton dude or whatever. I don't think he's played this year, but unless he jumps into the rotation, then he could be their backup center behind DeAndre, because losing Jarrett Allen, they do get a lot smaller, especially depth-wise. But in terms of how the Nets are looking this year, because obviously they'll have to come across like the Heat, Celtics, Bucks, or Philly in the playoffs if they want to get to the finals. So I could see one of those teams beating them just on like a chemistry and teamwork and just having a better game plan and being more ready as a group. Like I could see Miami Heat or something, or even the Bucks or Celtics or Philly like upsetting the Nets, because the Nets do have all this top talent, so they are looked at as like a favorite in a certain aspect. But it's going to be interesting to see. I'm really intrigued to see how far this Nets team can go, and if they do go all the way to the finals, if it's against the Clippers or if it's against the Lakers, like that's going to be an interesting matchup, because I think the Lakers and Clippers are going to be more ready as a team, but then I think obviously the Nets have more star power because they've got that third superstar, where the Lakers and Clippers just have the two. But yeah, let's get into the biggest winners and losers now. So I think the biggest losers is JaVale McGee, because he was pretty much like the backup center at the Cavs, and now he's probably like, I don't know, might get waived or something. So that's a little L, but that's not nothing major to do with like the teams. But I think the Rockets lost a little bit. Not really, because I think getting all the picks makes up for it. But Oladipo for Harden is like not worth it at all. Like Harden would give you much more and could take you further. He obviously didn't want to be there, so they had to sort of take what they could. And I do think they compensated with all the picks. I just don't think Oladipo is enough to really push them over that line of like a contender or to come out of the West. But they've still got room to grow with Christian Wood and Oladipo now, and they still have the option to make a trade or something. So we'll have to see. I won't call the Rockets a loser too much, just because I think they're a loser in the sense of like this situation was ugly, and they pretty much just had to be like, James Harden, go. We need to get whatever we can, return for you the best one. So I think they're slightly losers, but they're also winners in terms of they had to make this deal and they got a lot of picks out of it. And the biggest winners, I think the Pacers are the big. Oladipo for Caris LeVert. You could make an argument that Oladipo's better or could be better, but I just think from like those 40 and 50 point games we've seen from Caris LeVert, I think he could give you 20, 25, maybe 30 some nights on a game-to-game basis. So I definitely think the Pacers are a winner in this situation. I obviously think that the Nets are also a winner in this situation, because if you can put James Harden, KD, and Kyrie together, I don't think you should be considered a loser in any aspect. That's crazy. We're gonna have to see if Kyrie plays, like I said at the start of the video, because that could be the difference. Because their team is a lot thinner now, so you'll sort of need those three stars. If it is just say Harden and KD, they could still get it done, but they're just a bit thin. In terms of that third scorer, you're sort of relying on Joe Harris a lot, or I don't know, John Dre or Landry Shamet or Jeff Green. You don't sort of want to rely on that too much. So Kyrie's definitely going to need to come back for them to really make a proper push this year. And obviously we'll have to see what happens in the future with like contracts and all that. I'm not too sure how long does like Harden and Kyrie and KD still have on contract. I'm sure this isn't their last year. They'll have multiple years. Let me know down in the comments below that this Nets trio should have like a couple years to run it, right? Like this isn't just like all in right now. But yeah, so that there's not too much pressure on them like winning this year. The expectation will be there, but yeah, we're gonna have to see how they all click together and how that works out. And I also think that the Cavs, they're just a little bit of a winner in this situation, just because they didn't really give up much, and they got in my opinion, they got a better return for what they sort of gave up. And I feel like they just came in as that fourth team in this trade just to sort of fill the gaps. So yeah, the Cavs did a nice little job in just coming into the situation, not giving up much, getting Jarrett Allen, and sort of just walking out and finishing with Jarrett Allen. They've obviously got a lot of centers now, but now they've got some room to move with trades or this or that. They do have a nice little young core now, so Cavs are a slight winner in this situation. But yeah, that's all that for this video. Leave your guys comments and opinions down below if you agree with anything I say, or if you want to answer any of the questions I brought up this video. Yeah, what are your guys' overall thoughts about James Harden and the Nets? What do you guys see their chances of winning a ring this year, and even in the future moving forward once this year's done? But yeah, that's all for the video. Make sure to hit the sub button. We're on the road to 1K. If you've made it this far in the video, hit that like button. We'll try to get 6 likes this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.